You're back with comedian and undiagnosed schizophrenic David Boyle. And I've quit alcohol. I remembered the first time I went to the strippers today. What you've got to know about me is my whole life I have been hated by every single one of my friends' girlfriends, wives, fiancés, partners. Just every single one of them, without fail, has hated me to death. The reason is because I was always the one that would get them into trouble. They would come out with me and they would either get in massive trouble, they would come back injured, they probably wouldn't even come back half the time. Something fucked would happen and they would get in deep shit, and it was always my fault. And it was always my fault. And I never liked girlfriends coming out with us either. They were a big drag. Any girlfriends were never allowed out when guys were coming out with me. And I, in return, never bought my girlfriend. When I was 15, I used to be able to get into pubs somehow. I used to be able to get into bars without ID. I don't know how, because I looked 15 when I was 15. It wasn't like I was an elderly looking 18-year-old. I looked 15. But somehow, I don't know, through like confidence, I used to get into all the bars. I didn't even have fake ID. I just used to get served. I'd go in early and get served. Anyway, me and a couple of mates went to this strippers down in Frankston. And it was the diviest, fucking dodgiest old ladies stripping well past their best. Well past their best. So we were in there. And my best mate at the time was Charles, and his girlfriend, I don't know if I should say her name. Anyway, his girlfriend, Nalana. No one's hated me more in my entire life. This is when we were 15. She hated the very fucking sight of me. And Charles I knew since we were like 10. And he was a good mate up until a long time. Anyway, I was in this strippers one night. And these old ladies were coming out, stripping, and it was exciting, and it was cool as well. It was a fuck. When you're 15, old lady titties look just as good as young titties. Any titties look good. So we're in there for like a couple of hours drinking booze, and this lady comes out. And I'm like, fuck, I recognize this lady. And I just couldn't pick it. So she was dancing, she did a couple of dances, and I'm like, oh my God, I know who that is. That's fucking Nalana's mum. And so she's dancing, she's fully nude at this stage. Her ass is about 3 inches away from my face. She's doing her thing. And then I like call her over. This is like a little 15-year-old fucking faggot as well. I call her over and I'm like, I know who you are. And she's like, oh, do you, big boy? I'm like, let's not fool each other here. I'm no big boy. You know that. I know that. And then she does a twirl, nude. And I call her back over. I'm like, yeah, I know who you are. She's like, oh yeah, big boy. I'm like, come on, please. Who are you trying to fool here? I'm not a big boy. I'm like, you're Nalana's mum. And I swear to God, she almost fell over. She's like, who are you? I'm like, I'm Charles's best mate. And she's like, oh my God. She had a full panic attack on stage, freaked out, covered herself up, comes down off the stage, and she goes, can you please not tell anyone? Please don't tell anyone about this. No one knows. Nalana doesn't know. I'm like, don't worry. Your secret is safe with me. In hindsight, what I should have said is, if you give me a free lap dance, I will not say a fucking word to anyone. Instead, I was like, don't worry. Your secret is safe with me. And she's like, thank you so much. And I walked straight downstairs, speed dialed Charles, started laughing in his face, saying, I just saw Nalana's mum's asshole. It was 5 inches from my face. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Nalana's mum's a fucking stripper at Kittens. He didn't believe me at all. And so I spread this story, but I was so well known as a dodgy, full of shit asshole that no one even believed my best story at the time. It was my best story at the time. I saw my best mate's girlfriend's mum stripping at Kittens, and no one believed me. I'm like, you gotta believe me, guys. They're like, shut up, Boyle. For starters, how did you even get into the strippers? I'm like, they just let me in. They're like, you look 15. They're like, can you shut the fuck up? No one believes this. And so I spent 5 years trying to spread that story, and no one ever believed me. So here's to you, Nalana's mum. You dodged a bullet. You got seen stripping by the one person no one would believe. That was a great night, though. That was a great night. Okay, that's enough. Keep sending in your stories. Send in your wild, drunken stories to my social media at Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you're already there, you might as well go over to Apple Podcasts and give me a rating and a review and subscribe and tell your friends about it. Okay, I'll speak to you later.